First of all, I wanted to bring up the fact that it's really only us alone that are responsible for our own happiness and alignment. That it's never another person's responsibility to keep us happy, to make us feel fulfilled, to entertain us, to shower us with affection. It's never someone else's job to do that. And if we're holding our partner up to those standards where we're looking to them to fill up our cup of worthiness or acceptance or to validate us, then we're putting a lot of pressure on that person. And that's not fair. It's not their job. It's our job. It's our job to do that for ourselves. So that's the first thing. So we're responsible for our own happiness and our own alignment. And when I say alignment, I mean alignment with ourselves, alignment with the deepest, like most core aspects of who we are. Another understanding is that if you love and value yourself, you're gonna attract another person who also loves and values you to that extent. So basically, if you hold yourself up to high standards, if you value yourself, then you won't be able to let someone into your life who doesn't also value you in that same way. And say you're dating or something and you meet a guy and he doesn't value you to the same standards, the same high standards that you value yourself at, then you guys aren't going to connect. And he's not going to be in your close circle because his value of you doesn't match your value of you. And so if you have a shitty value of yourself, you're going to attract someone else into your life who has that shitty value of yourself also. And so hold yourself to a high standard. And this video is basically talking about self-love, self-worth, like practicing that. Another thing is, that being secure in yourself involves releasing any feeling of control over another. So just as you value yourself, to have an awesome relationship, you've got to value them in that same regard. So that significant other, that other person, this could be a friend too, or a family member as well. I'm really talking about love relationships, but you can use this probably across the board in just human relationships. So, but basically, not controlling another person means that you accept that person as a full-grown human being that can do whatever the hell they want. They can speak how they want. They can treat you how they want. They can treat themselves how they want. They can do whatever they want in their life because it's their freaking life. They're their own person. And so it's up to you, of course, to choose if you want that person in your life or not. But never try to control somebody else. They're their own person. So if you feel like you're constantly having to control somebody, look at the person you're with and they are who they are. If they're not someone who you want, you don't need to be with them. You don't need to invite them in, right? But also at the same time, if you're trying to control somebody, look at yourself. Why are you trying to control them? What are you trying to fulfill in yourself that you need to change them to be in a certain mold to be able to satisfy something that you want? So that maybe should be another video, but look at that and maybe take that into consideration. If you have this urge to control somebody, usually that area that you're trying to control them in, if you, instead of directing your energy at them, trying to control them, if you just hold up a mirror instead and look at what you're trying to control and let that bounce back at you, maybe start with yourself and controlling yourself in that way, controlling your thinking in that way that you want them to change. Usually whatever we're disliking in another person comes down to ourselves. And that's deeper self-work. And I am more than happy to talk about that if you want me to. So just let me know if you want me to bring that up. So another understanding that we need to reach is taking care of I'm reading this from my notes, so sorry about my eyeballs going down here, but I wrote, taking care of yourself and your relationship is like a constant tending to a garden. If you keep it going on a daily basis, you don't have to deal with overgrown weeds. So what that means is in your relationship, if you're holding shit in, if there's something that's, I've done this for sure, but like there's something under the surface, right? Like that you're just like something's grinding your gears a little bit and you're just like holding it back because you don't want to say anything, and you're like, is this my problem? Like, is this my issue? But you just keep seeing a thing or a theme is popping up, and it's like grinding at you. And for myself, this is a negative thing that I do, is like I'll keep that to myself. I'm a lot better now, but I have the tendency to want to keep those things to myself and not express them. And the horrible thing about doing that is you're just poisoning yourself. You're poisoning your mind and you're poisoning your relationship, because you're just keeping these negative thoughts alive in your head. You're not bringing them out. You're not expressing them. You're not, addressing them. You're just like kind of shoving them down. And that is so not the thing to do. So rather than tallying up all these little things and not addressing them, whether that means like something that other person is doing that's like grinding your gears, or something that if another person is doing something that's constantly messing with you, then it really is you. It all comes back to you, and how you're showing up in the relationship. But if you keep running into things that are problems and not addressing them, they grow and grow and grow and grow. And if you've been in relationships for more than a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, like you know that this can happen. And the healthiest thing to do is like, imagine it's like a hedge in your backyard, is just like trimming those leaves a little bit, like every week, or like you have a lawn, just mow it every week. Tend to it, weed it, throw some fertilizer on there, rather than abandon it and not tend to it and let the weeds grow. Because it then the weeds develop roots, and then you gotta like rip the whole thing out, and it kind of destroys the garden. So it's a lot healthier to just as things come up, deal with them as they come up, when they're small, when they're in the early phases, when they're easy to manage, when it just takes like a slight little joking comment or something to like keep things even keel and happy in your relationship. So you can tell that I've been through this one before. I can maybe make like individual videos on all these things. But, and then another understanding, the theme of all of this, another understanding, is that you have to start with you. You have to start with yourself. It really, I think it only takes one very clear seeing person in a relationship to have an awesome relationship. If you are filled with self-love, if you are filled with self-worth, and you are just happy in life because you practice appreciation and you practice connecting with yourself, with your own direction, with your own clarity, and you fill yourself up, your relationship is going to be awesome. Like, assuming you've picked a person that like also values you and like is, you guys just match in that like self-worth level, then you're going to have an awesome relationship because you are awesome, like you're feeling awesome. And when you see the best in yourself and you love yourself, you're gonna love that other person too, because you've learned how to love. Loving yourself is maybe the hardest person to love, at least for a lot of us, and so if you have been able to practice that and get yourself into a place where you're like, man, I am awesome, then you will also, like, you're going to reflect that out into people. That might sound like unbelievable, but it's 100% true. I know for a fact that my relationship goes, or relationships in the past and any relationship goes so like the best when you are just fulfilling yourself. The relationships just kind of fall into place. And those people who don't vibe with you so much, they just kind of aren't there, you know? And so I wanted to ask you a question, because really all of this comes down to like self-love. And so I wanted to ask you if there are any ways that you know of that you can love yourself better. And I have areas that I could love myself better. Like almost all, I mean, every single area, I could love myself better. And so it's like, even if you have like strong self-love in an area, what is something you can do, or what is something you can appreciate about yourself? What's something you can appreciate about yourself that like you haven't been giving yourself enough appreciation in that area? I mean, for a lot of women, it's like, for a lot of girls, it's your appearance and like it's your weight, or like your confidence too, like showing up, feeling respected by others, and like in business, at work, feeling like you're in control of, like, I've got this, like I got my shit together. Like, even though you'll never have all of your shit together, like you're doing a pretty damn good job, and remembering that, like, so in what ways basically can you love yourself better? Can you love yourself better in like in your personal life? Can you love yourself better in your work? Can you appreciate yourself and like for what you do? Can you appreciate yourself for like the emotional person that you are, or empathic person? Can you appreciate yourself for the friend that you are, for the good like friend that you've been, or a good parent, or a good, you know, son or daughter, sister or brother? How can you appreciate yourself? And like, how can you feed that positive self-talk to yourself so you can grow that self-love, grow that self-worth? And yeah, that's the theme of it. I was going to keep rambling, but I think you get it. Oh, wow. It's 12 and a half minutes. So yeah, I think I'll stop. But, so basically having an awesome relationship starts with having an awesome relationship with yourself. That's it. I think you can't have an amazing relationship with someone else if you don't have an amazing relationship with yourself. I believe that. Yeah. So if you believe that too, and this is in my life too. I mean, yeah, I believe it because I've lived this. But if you also believe this, and I was just going to share something personal. Sorry, I'm interrupting myself. I've been married and divorced and in multiple relationships. So I think that's why I'm saying like I believe this so much. And I'm in a relationship right now of 5 years that I'm very happy in, like a lot of love. And we do this kind of self-tending, and I'm still learning. We're still learning, you know, of how to keep that garden tended to along the way. Like keep the little keep the little positive things coming into, like the little hugs and the little kisses and the little like appreciations to each other. That's everything, man. Like the little tiny thank yous and like tokens of appreciation. It's big. Okay. All right. So basically, if you need any help with any of this, if you need help like building your self-love, if you need help in your relationship, or preparing for a relationship, or in your dating, or just how to look at others, whether it's your love life or your friendships or difficult relationships in your family, and how you can use this self-love strategy. I want to say like self-love, I was going to say self-love law, but that's kind of a lot to say. I'll say self-love strategy to creating positive relationships, and to like unveiling all that crap that you pour on top of your bright and shining heart. And just like, if you need help removing all that crap so you can open your heart and so you can shine more brightly, like that's what I work with people doing. So if you need help, just DM me, or go to my website and book a free consultation. So I'm here. Yeah, I want to help you remove the layers that are holding you back from yourself, basically. All right. I'm feeling a lot of love, and I hope this helps somebody. All right.